Okay, hello everybody. Today it's time to look at future tenses. Let's start with the simplest one, future simple with will. Here we have a dialogue that we can use as an introduction. Will we ever finish all these exams? No, we won't. We will most likely perish in the attempt, and the teachers won't even come to our funeral. Or hopefully we will. Okay, let's just remember how to form this tense. We use will, okay, as the auxiliary verb that can be contracted to this double L, and that in the negative becomes this will not that we most often use as won't contracted. Remember that we basically use the same auxiliary verb for every person, both singular and plural. And then we just have to add the main verb in the base form. Okay, like in here, finish, perish, come. We don't make any change to the verb. Finally, I just remind you that if you ever see this shall being used in the future, it's just an antiquated and old-fashioned way of saying I will. Let's keep going. Here we have the different ways in which we use the future simple. There are three of them: future predictions, spontaneous decisions, and future events in a timetable. Here we have the examples. To make it a bit more interactive, I will ask you please to, in a few seconds, match them together. Match the numbers with the letters. You can pause the video if you need to. And once you're done, let's continue. So here we are. We have already matched the uses to the examples. So the first one is future predictions. So if we are making a future prediction that is not based on any evidence, that's important, because this is we're gonna see in a couple of minutes, we're gonna see why. If we make a future prediction just like that, we use the future simple with will. For example, Spain will win the next World Cup in 2022. In the same way, if we take a spontaneous decision, so for example, there's like we learn something new, and we decide to do something about it. I will do this, or I won't do that. Okay, we express that with will. Okay, here's the example: I will do my English homework right now. And finally, and this is more specific, we can just learn it by heart. When we have future events in a timetable, we use future simple. Okay? For example, the train will depart at 5. Be on time. Good. So now, as often, here we have a question just to check that we are following the video. Give us an example of an spontaneous decision. And let's continue. There's another very common way that we use to express actions that will take place in the future. That is be going to. Again, here we have a dialogue to introduce the tense. Are you going to help us prepare Monica's party? Yes, I am. We are going to meet a day before to buy everything. Luke isn't going to buy the present with us because he's going to buy something special on his own. So now remember that this one is very easy to use because grammatically it's just very similar to the present continuous. It's just instead of adding the verb with ing directly, we add this going to and then the verb in its base form. So as with the present continuous, if we are making a question, we start with the verb to be, okay? And if we are going to make a negative sentence, we add not. So this could be Luke, Luke's not going to, or Luke isn't going to. We can use the contraction both ways, okay? I think this is simple enough. I've already studied the verb to be for many years, so we don't need to delve into this for longer. Let's look at the uses of be going to. So here we have the two possible uses, Let's try to match them together. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. You can pause the video if you need to. And when you're ready, let's move on. So here we have these two possibilities. So we can use it for future plans. And as you can see, the difference with the future simple with will is the fact that they are not spontaneous actions. They are things that are already planned. So future plans, like for example, we are going to pass this weekend at the Warner Park to celebrate my birthday. So it's not something spontaneous. It's not spontaneous. It's already planned. Okay. For example, before we've talked about future predictions, but in this case, if we are making a future prediction, but it's based on some evidence that we are seeing in the present moment, we use be going to. We can kind of connect it with the fact that it's not so spontaneous prediction because it's based on something specific. Here's the example. Real Madrid has lost 2 matches. They are going to lose the league this year and maybe even the next. There we go. Question 2. Give an example of a future prediction based on present evidence. That's it. Thank you very much. I'm going to see you in the next lesson.